right, so in this video, I wanted to take a look back at the past and the future of gaming graphics. So we're not talking about frame rate so much as we're talking about resolution. We're talking about like level of detailing, shininess, basically a lot of stuff that RTX is doing. Let's take a look at some old graphics mods for games from back in the day and compare them to what RTX and ray tracing, the future next gen tech that is running in the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Let's compare them. Let's see what the vision of the future was from what everybody was doing on the PC with enhancing the graphics through mods versus what we're actually getting with ray tracing, modern day ray tracing, I should say, and the whole next gen craze around RTX. So let's jump into the first game that I can remember is a little game called GTA 4, and there was a thing called the Ice Enhancer. Now, this is a video from back in 2014. This is not my video. All these people that record these videos, you can find them on YouTube and everything. I never took the chance or the opportunity to actually have a rig that could do it. But before, back in the day, I never had a rig that could run this stuff. So I don't have any footage of like my own to show. So I'm just going to be showing little bits of these videos. Hopefully nobody gets mad. But so this is vanilla GTA 4. And then the modding community around the GTA modding community is like one of the biggest in the world, along with like the Capcom and the Elder Scrolls communities and everything. The Witcher also. And they basically they so here's the thing. Here's the thing with these mods. Sometimes they're kind of hit or miss. So this was an early version of the Ice Enhancer. And it would kind of blow out the lighting some. This is what happened to me when I tried to mod it for the 10th anniversary, I think it was, stream of GTA 4. It was the last time that GTA had an anniversary. I tried to stream it and mod it and put all kinds of cool cars in there and everything. So again, vanilla version, kind of a bluish grayish look to it and everything. Ice enhancement. This is back in 2014, so I mean they were trying to make it looks like the car models. They're trying to change that up to make the cars look a little more authentic to New York City. The skyline in the background, all the buildings actually lighting up, very different. And then it also looks like the FOV was shifted a little bit, I think. Oh yes, the FOV is definitely shifted. I know that oh wow, there's a plane up in the distance right there flying in. So you can actually see on the ground too some of the reflections happening from the lights and everything. But the cars look very like matte finish, They look very kind of bland. And it was just a time of these mods. People were still learning how to push systems. They're learning how to push game engines. And this was like one of the very first mods I ever seen that really did graphics enhancements. Version 1.5 from June of this year. Here's how far it's come on the modding side. Again, so this is only 1080, not 60 FPS. It's not even in 4K. Looks a lot different. Really good. Way better, actually. I mean, you have the lighting's working better. Man, this makes me really want to jump into GTA 4 and just like mod it up and check everything out. This looks great. This could be on par with GTA 5, in all honesty. And, GTA 4 it's getting to be a pretty old game. This was a 360 title. Like a mid, I think it was mid-life cycle 360 title. Like I say a 360 title as in like Xbox 360. That's where a lot of people were playing. It's not a ton of people. Like I'll say this, most people were playing Xbox 360 over the PS3 just because there was more games available on it. But this is, of course, PC gameplay. I think this one is, yes, this one's 4K 60 FPS. Okay, so this is with ray tracing GI. I'm not quite sure. Is that like AI? So this would be a like GTA 4 remastered. It's basically this. Everything. Wow. I haven't seen this video before. Whoa. It's a little much on the shine on the road, I feel like. I feel like they're pushing the reflections a little bit much. Although the reflections look gorgeous. I mean they are like picture perfect reflections, which is absolutely awesome. Wow. And yes, I have there's no game volume or anything because I don't want anything blasting in your ears. But damn, man, I'm kind of wondering just how hard it is to get this set up. I would love to do a playthrough with it looking like this. Um, Again, I mean, it's just reflections, shadows, lighting, everything across the board is touched with this mod right here. It looks like they kept all the car models all the same. That is amazing. Some people really love GTA 4, and they love New York City. You can really tell. You can even go flying down the road too, and the mod is not stuttering the frame rate or anything. Everything looks smooth. This is 60, right? Yeah, this is 60 FPS. Boy, that looks great. Ooh, and this looks like a brand new game. I mean, this looks like a brand new title. If they ever remaster GTA 4, hopefully it looks on par with this. Oh, they got Franklin from GTA 5 in it too. Very cool. Very, very cool. The next one is a PS4 game that it blew everybody's minds that you could do this level of graphics on the PS4 Pro. Even me, I'm still baffled. But the reason why the graphics are so good in this because there's no AI, there's nothing running around, like there's no enemies running around or anything, so you can push every ounce of the power of the PS4 into Dreams. Now, Dreams is basically a level builder, but look at this. Look at the. Do I have? I have it on 720. So this is a 720p video. Take a look at this. 720p. It's not even 60 FPS. I mean, look at that. 720, 30 FPS. You can see like overly blurring happening right there, but the level of detail on the ground right here, you can definitely tell this is a game. And when you're watching this on a phone, because the first time I seen this was on Twitter, I was just like, whoa, wait, is this what? But if you actually look at the clouds and everything, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a game. It looks stylized. It looks, artistically stylized and all that. But it definitely, I mean, this is like the teaser for next gen graphics right here. This looks great. Out in the forest here. Again, so this one's 1080 60 FPS. Like, my goodness, this was actually the very first one I seen on Twitter. And at first, when you're watching it on like a little screen, especially on your cell phone, you're like, this is a real video. What? But then once you see it on a bigger screen, you can actually see the motion blur happening. You can see the pop in happening on the ground. But and this is a base PS4. A base PS4. I mean, technically, this is like the Ice Enhancer mod right here, but it's running on, running on a console instead of it being PC. One thing that you can definitely notice, and that it's current gen, the motion blur is ridiculous, and that's one thing with this generation of consoles. The motion blur, a lot like one of the older console generations too. I think it was PS2 had a lot of motion blur built into that one too. But just at a locked 60 FPS, you can see just how smooth the image, the animation is, and just all the lighting technique that's going on. It definitely looks blurry because this is also blown up from like a small Twitter video, And if you want to go on Twitter and look it up, it's still the videos are still there, but it definitely looks a lot better on a phone. Just because it's a smaller screen, and this is like blowing the image up. But this was like a teaser of like what possibly before they showed any Xbox Series X or PS5 gameplay. This was kind of like the teaser of like, I wonder if they can get photorealistic like that. And then lo and behold, the Unreal Engine hit. So another one that I wanted to take a look at was 2020 Best Graphics Mods. So this is actually a graphics mod for Fallout 4. Yeah. Wow. It's really interesting to see that that graphics mods be coming out like this. I don't know. I wonder if it's because the mining community don't want their old games forgotten about, or this looks great also. I mean, jeez, hire some of these people, like Bethesda Studios and like Treyarch and jeez, all these different studios. Hire some of these people that know how to do graphics like this. Like, they do such a good job. Look at this. I mean, this was all. If you go back and look at the original vanilla version of this game, there was like no greens. It's all basically just like browns and oranges of like nuclear desert wasteland. And this actually puts like grass coverage, leaves scattered around and everything. Like you see all the little like the ferns and all. I want to play Fallout 4 like this. It's crazy because I mean you can see some pop in the background in there, like that tree just bloop, it popped in, which definitely like Mafia Definitive Edition is supposed to be like all fancy graphics on the consoles. That has so much pop in, it's ridiculous, and it's because there's so much the consoles are trying to load. I don't take anything away from the current gen consoles. Boy, look at the level of detail on all this and everything. And of course, the damn modding people have to add something lewd. Buildings area. And the buildings all look great too. Yeah, if I ever jump back into Fallout 4, which I'll do sooner or later, I need to run a mod like this. Like, whoo, this looks too good. This makes me really want to go back and play Fallout 4 now. Seeing too many cool things happening. Oh, gameplay. Like shootouts and stuff. Headshots are headshots in Fallout. You can actually see them hiding behind stuff and everything. So is this ray tracing? I wonder if it's like a ray tracing mod that they implemented ray tracing into. PSN, supports, Twitch, NCR vets. I'll give them a shout out. Absolutely. Photorealistic Commonwealth, Premiere standalone camera preset, ENB, natural atmospheric Commonwealth. So these are all mod groups probably that all came together to kind of like overhaul the visuals on each section of the map to make the whole map of Fallout 4 look really, really, really detailed. This is 4K 60. So this person's trying to make it look a little more. See what I mean? Like, then you have this mod right here, which is showing the regular look of it, and everything is just these brown and orange, just like I said, nuclear waste. Like all the water is green because everything was blown up. I mean, even this looks really good. Even this looks great. And this isn't even next gen, although technically it kind of is. So this is using the same techniques that next gen games are going to be using. It's just on the current gen engines. So when you have the next gen engines working on this type of technology that's already kind of, the mining community is already kind of remastering old games. My only thing that kind of scares me is like we might never have proper remasters of something like a Fallout 4 or a GTA 4 because they've been done already on the PC so well that the publishers might go, well, if we actually make a real full-on remaster, they'll never sell on console, which is a dangerous way of thinking, because we all know that remasters sell like crazy. Hell, I'm one of my first games I want to load up on PS5 is Spider-Man Remastered, just because it looks so good. I already know I've 100% of the game. I've done it live on stream and everything, beaten everything in it, and I still want to go back through and check it all out. Way better laying. Again, I mean, I'm not seeing too much in the deal with reflections, but the way that the lighting is bouncing off the walls and different reflective surfaces, and that's something that has been tied majorly with RTX, is that the AI in RTX can really figure out that was it can really figure out the surface material and reflect light accordingly. So if you have something that's not so reflective, then you don't have so much light coming through. And also it works with audio design too. So you're seeing already just how powerful RTX can be, even in current gen games when the mining community is doing. And this is running on RTX 2080 Ti. Like this is not even a 30 series. This is now the last gen. So then we have Red Dead, which people have been mining the crap out of Red Dead and making it look absolutely amazing. Also, Red Dead. I mean, visually, just on its own, Red Dead looks fucking amazing. Look at the level of detail right there. And this is absolutely running at 62, so it's like a smooth, no pop-ins. I mean, you need a beast rig to make this work. Yeah, i9 99K, that's bigger than mine. 2080 Ti. In all honesty, this isn't even totally, like, this is just PC maxed out. So this is more or less a current gen engine just running. This is not even with a graphics mod, I don't think. So again, the same thing that they used for that GTA 4 video, they're using it in Red Dead Redemption 2. Ooh. If next gen hits half of this, which it is going to, we've seen it. Spoiler alert, the next part of this video is going to be all about like next gen graphics. And yes, it can. It can do this for real. Problem is having time enough to set this all up. And like going through the frustration of having stuff crash and everything else. Because that's part of the PC thing. And that's one of the cool things about next gen graphics is a point that consoles, they do just work. Oh, the snow is running. So I'm geeking out with these graphics, man. I'm geeking out. Everything's reflecting. The light rays are shining through. The little toidles. Oh, and with the rain happening too, like big glops of rain. And it's actually like it's not just, you know, like dots flying across the screen. You can literally see the raindrops, individual raindrops. Get off from my... All these ads on YouTube is ridiculous. Hey. Why did they go down to 360p? You can see the 360p. Why did they do that? YouTube... Oh! It's like snowing. What? This is what GTA 6 has to live up to. This is what GTA 6 has to live up to right here. Okay. All right. So this is running at full-on PS5. So that was the modding community. Here's the actual developers for PS5. This is running at 1080 60, so it's not quite top tier of a video, but you get the light reflections. The smoothness of the animation will be there. It's definitely, it's running at 60 because the video's at 60, but it's probably going to be running over 60. I think there's one mode. So from what we've heard about like Spider-Man, there's one mode that runs over 60 FPS. That's I think it's the 1080p mode, and then the 2K mode runs at a solid 60. I'm pretty sure. unless that gets changed in like a patch or something, or it's like different in the release of the game. Again, you can see the smoothness. You can really see the smoothness in the animations and everything. The light reflecting off from surfaces and all that stuff. So they are hitting a lot of the same stuff of what the mods were doing. This is hitting. This is definitely showing that they are keeping up with the mining community and using RTX, using the AI-driven, ray tracing abilities. So the main question is going to be is frame rate. That's probably the main thing that everybody's going to really have eyeballs for. Some people can't see frame rate differences. For the ones that can, like me, over 100 FPS is harder to see, but definitely going from like 30 to 60 is easily to see, and then 60 up to 100 is easy, but sometimes after a bit your eyes adjust to it. But everything over 60 is definitely like, I need to play this in 60 now. But also it's hard for your eyes to adjust over 100. I will definitely say that. You can definitely tell if something is running over 100 FPS. I guess this was a tech demo video showing the level of detail on like faces and such, and how light reflects off from like skin materials, and also different in-game world materials like a rock and everything. This is in-game. This is Unreal Engine 5, I'm pretty sure, right? This is I'm pretty sure this is running on UE5. Okay, this right here, they're 100%. If this, yeah, because I've seen this tech demo before it, so this is all in game. They're outdoing the mining community. If this level of detailing and shine and look and everything keeps up with going forward in the next like 2 years, I'd say maybe a year and a half on the new games that are coming out in that time period, we have transcended the PC mining community. Finally, the developers are going to have something that looks better than what the mining community can do for now, until the mining community gets on the game and starts one upping it. That's the competition. I feel that's the true competition between developers and modders. Of course, Demon Souls, gorgeous looking Demon Souls. Again, particle effects to lighting to reflections to ray tracing gorgeousness, but also weight and like the weight of everything. I mean, this is CGI. This is CG. This is CG. Let's get into actual. We're here for this is gameplay. That's gameplay. That's actually gameplay in a way. I think that is in-engine gameplay, actually. I think this is all. So this is gameplay, just the cameras at a weird angle. Not quite photorealistic, but you don't have a photo of a dragon to go by. So it's also the art style. Everybody might be looking at photorealistic. Okay. That is one type of an art style, photorealistic. And then you have the other type of art style that can be a little more, I mean, this is absolutely photorealistic, except for the characters definitely look like the art style of a game. It's just the way, you have different artists that do different stuff. Again, though, I mean, this is, I feel, oh, wow. You know what I'm noticing? You know what I'm definitely noticing? So, all these mod next gen community mod things, it feels like the sharpness is through the roof. It feels softer to the eyes. The overall picture is softer. This is definitely running at 30. Oops. Yeah, this is definitely running at 30. This is not 60 at all. Again, though, like I'm just looking at the graphics and everything, you can see, I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of the shine happening. So that was a metallic surface. It had a different shine than like the concrete on the streets. His suit has a different shine than like the moonlight shined off from his suit differently than like the wet concrete, I think something like Spider-Man, it's getting there. It's still got a little ways to go, but at the same time, they're going for particle effects. They're also going for a lot of enemies on the screen. They're pushing the system more than just graphics, and that's what a lot of graphics mods are doing. Even though something like GTA has a bunch of cars, driving by and this and that, that's the power of the PC. But it's also an older graphics engine, so it doesn't take up as much resources. That's the trade-off. If developers can make a graphics engine that does not take up so much resources, but you can also have one hell of a, and yes, we're gonna look at Halo Infinite again. So this was the Xbox showcase. So I heard some stuff at Digital Foundry in one of their videos that is that they said it was just like a poor choice of time of day. I mean, sort of. I sort of agree with that, but at the same time, it's like you look in the backgrounds and everything, and yes, this game is a game in development now and all that, but like, there's no movement on grass. There's no there. I'm still I'm just my eyes are going straight to the lack of detailing on everything in the background. And when I try and focus on this, it's just like a lack of detailing on the grass and everything. And if you're playing, like, I notice the grass in this, the same things happen with Mafia, which is really weird because Mafia Definitive Edition, the reason why it works the way it does, where the grass doesn't fully load up in the console version of it, at least not on PS4 Pro, is because a lack of power from the system. When I watch it on the PC, it runs just fine. There's no like green patch and then bloop and then you see grass. Again, I think that they should really just cut the current gen version of this game and just focus on next gen. Strongly feel that. But there's just this, I don't know, it's there's detailing missing, there's a lot of shine missing, there's a lot of like this, like that lighting right there is barely it's barely like reflecting off the surfaces the way that a lot of other games are doing. So with that being said, let's check out a game that is looking a lot more, and this is a Digital Foundry video because I can't find the actual. So again, 4K 60 FPS. So a lot more detail is happening with the shine off from surfaces. And I know that this game is running at a high frame rate, so that's really cool there. So you got a decent level of details going on with this. In the background right there, like, farther you go out, then the level of detail is definitely dropping off dramatically. Shadowing just barely. Like, they look so damn close to one another. This one's just a little bit higher res, it looks like. Okay, then you can actually, yes, the foliage density is definitely a lot more. Like, you can see a lot more detail popping in, like, farther back on the environments. Like, I mean, come on. We just seen GTA 4 where the level of details are ridiculous, where it is like photorealistic, and then you get this. This is where I feel like the Xbox is really just they're kind of just skating by on that side of things. And then on top of that, there's a reason why I only show Gears and Halo, because that's all there is to show. But I think this video is going on a little longer than I was expecting it to. So, yeah, is next gen holding up with what the mining community kind of figured that next gen would look like? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But at the same time, there is stylistic efforts that are going on to differ to make the graphics look a little bit different than photorealistic styles. Also, it's working in some cases, in other cases not. I like I said, Spider-Man is not full realistic, although it tries to be kind of in the environments are, but Spider-Man and his buddies are like almost in kind of like a not cartoon, a comic book ish. They're in kind of that realm of an art style of a comic book, but they also look full realistic at the same time. It's actually a very nice mesh of both, which I really love. That I love seeing. Yeah, the more realistic is better, in my opinion. Not everybody likes that. Some people loved absolute comic book style. Um, it's totally personal preference. I think we are very close to hitting what this was right here. I think next gen is very close to hitting this level. It might be a few more years before we see. I mean, look at everything. Like I said, everything. The sharpness is punched out through the roof, but at the same time, the level of detail on the textures, like it's so high res of textures. It's probably like 8K textures that they got going on with this to make it that full realistic and that detailed and everything. But at the same time, seeing something like this is, I mean, next gen. This was what next gen looks like to me is exactly this. And it's also, this is ray tracing. This is ray tracing 101, basically what this is all doing. So we're gonna see a lot more games come out looking just like this, full realistic with a bunch of the shininess going on, with a very high frame rate. Hopefully as high frame rate as they can possibly push. So, anyways. That's gonna do. I just wanted to go back and look at the old and then compare it with the new. And old and new, I mean, they're comparing very nicely. I would say the new stuff is going to overtake the mining community's full realistic mods that that have been being worked on for years and years now. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing developers come out like Rockstar. GTA 6, if that is the next Rockstar game, it's going to blow everybody's mind. It's going to make this look, you know, last gen. I don't know how they're going to do it. I cannot imagine just how good it's going to look. Have we topped off the graphics at full realistic? It's kind of hard to beat full realistic. But I think what's going to be going forward though is not just full realistic, but pop-ins. So when you're looking out there and you don't see a tree and all of a sudden bloop, it pops in. I think going forward we're going to see that dwindle away and everything. Especially playing like a battle royale or something where everything's online, you got a bunch of data going back and forth. We're going to see that be handled a lot better because you're going to have bigger systems, more power in the systems and everything. So anyways, I think this has been going on for way too long now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And if you like this, hit that thumbs up, to ring the bell and all that good stuff. Share it around. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you to work. I just, it helps out a lot. But thanks for tuning in, and I will be on Twitch again very soon in the near future. Also, gameplay playthroughs on the channel and everything that's coming too. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, I will see you next time.